Hello everyone, welcome to the street market once again. Today's episode we will be doing a 5-yard mulch job brown over in Spring, Texas. I actually had made a previous video for about almost 3 yards, and the video resulted in pretty poor quality for whatever reason, and I wasn't too happy with how it came out, so this is my way of kind of redoing it. Today the forecast is calling for about 80% chance of rain for this hour right now, so it's a light drizzle. Hopefully we can get through it, but the rest of the afternoon is going to be fluctuate between 15 and 35%, so I'm not expecting to postpone a job, so hopefully. But anyway, right now I'm pulling into the nursery to pick up 2 yards of brown mulch, and it's J&J Nursery. It's the name of this place, and their mulch here is pretty good actually. But anyway, I will return with you guys once I get situated here. So I got permission to put this J&J Nursery, there it is right there, off 2920 if you're local. And they just got all this in Friday and Saturday. So right now what's going on, it's still early in March, so most nurseries, they're just loading up or stocking up with their flowers, their plants, stuff like that. But this is a pretty good nursery here. The lady here, the owner here, you can tell she's real passionate about plants, and they know all their information, or all their S. But anyway, our mulch is over there, so I'm going to prep this truck and get it loaded up. All right, so here I am getting loaded up. Look, notice that bucket, how it's a round bucket. So they're quite generous over here. Hopefully my tools won't be in the way. If they get all dirty, it's all good. So this is 1 yard. So if you notice the material, it's not quite as fine as the other one. Still got large pieces, but it's okay. I just got done telling them that I prefer my mulch from the competitor, and I prefer their plants, just because the other nursery, Spring Nursery, they got a lot finer mulch, where this is a little more coarse, but the plants here are top of the line. So this is the second yard. So remember, if it's flat, it's gonna be about 2.75 yards, I believe, close to 3. If it's a nice round mount, then obviously it'll be a little over that. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that volume. Gracias. Hola, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Ricardo, un placer.
Ricardo.
Un placer. Estamos aquí a la orden.
José Rodríguez.
En Nursery. Tienes que venir a comprar.
Órale, muchas gracias. Mira, bien, aquí son bien generosos.
Sí.
Yo pagué por 1,5 yardas y me lo llenaron un poquito menos que esto. Y estos son 2 yardas, so si quieren buena
Promoción, aquí estamos.
Buen precios
Y buen precio.
y razonable volumen, por favor vengan para J&J Nursery.
Ahí va.
Gracias.
Te esperamos.
Órale.
Feliz día.
Yep. Alright, we're ready to go. Let's get this job started. We'll make this roundabout and head towards the job site. Forgot to show you guys all the rock. They got quite a huge selection of stone and boulders, rocks, landscaping material. It's a pretty good nursery. I like it. Their customer service is great. They're conveniently located here in Spring, off 2920, which is Spring's major road, major freeway, if you will. There's the rock right there. Wish I knew the address off the top. I can give you guys that information. But it's close to FM 2920, and it looks like Falvel Road, Falvel Road. Well, here we are at our 5-yard project. So we got this little bitty section, and we've got 2 beds on either side of the sidewalk. So it looks like these bushes are blooming. So this is another project that I've already did some trim work this past fall, and so as you can see, it's starting to grow already. So what we're gonna do here is do a light trim as well. We want this to look as beautiful as possible. For you lawn care guys, yes, spend the money advertising, spend the money, on your business cards, flyers, knock on doors, things of that nature, the typical stuff. But when it comes down to it, this is your main advertisement right here. This is something that these people down this road, they drive up and down this road to go to work, come back from work, take their kids to school. I mean, this is what they see every day. So if you put out a good quality product, this is what you're selling pretty much. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set up shop, and we'll go ahead and get started on this project. So for this first step, what we're gonna do some trim work, and for this step, we're gonna utilize Stihl's HL 9-4. Which is the longer shaft. I'm not really sure if they sell these anymore, because I've been trying to find them at the local shops and online, and for whatever reason they all say currently unavailable. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'll go ahead and unhook and get started on the trim work. And this is what it looks like before. See if I can step back, take a picture. Alright, welcome back. So all done with the trim work. So just a few things I want to point out. So basically, when it comes to pretty much anything, I follow a few principles. Basically, I always try to line up the driveways and the beds. I don't want anything going past like for example here. You've got multiple vehicles that park here, so you don't want your shrubs or your plants growing out, where your vehicles are going to park. So I try to keep that as nice and even as possible. I try to create depth. So for example, right here you've got this fairly medium to large size shrub, and then you got I think it's a juniper back there. So you can still see both of them. Ideally, you probably want this one in the front a little bit lower. But like I said, all we're charging for today is just the mulch. So this is more of a courtesy for me. If you look towards this angle, I've created that same depth. So you got your smaller shrubs in the front, in the foreground. And then as they get larger, then you have that almost that step look, that step concept. There was not much I could do with that one over there. That one, what I believe happened is it used to be straight until it hit that awning, and then eventually it just kind of it forced it to try to find some light. And so we're gonna go ahead and just keep that look and see if we can get that bad boy strengthened up, and hopefully it looks better as it matures. So what I try to do when I trim, I basically take, I start from one end, like over here. I'll start from as far as I can go, and and I'll look like, depending on what shape I'm trying to do. Like right here, I try to kind of do like a teardrop. This one's been this is a work in progress. Last year I cut that big old piece right there. It was dead, and we were trying to fix this guy up. So as I'm moving along, you know, I'll take baby steps, and you know, I'll touch up this angle, and I'll touch up this angle, and then I'll try to touch up this angle, and I'll just do this all the way around, you know, between, and that's just basically, I try to catch every angle. I don't want, you know, as when customers drive up and down this road, that's exactly what they're gonna see. I want them to be fixated on the details of our trim work. So that's kind of what I apply here. This is good right here. I try to trim as deep as possible, but without trying to sacrifice too much, without trying to expose it too much, because, you know, light is going to hit all in here and expect the weeds to come out there. So like right over here, this shrub is, you know, blocking all the light. In fact, it's absorbing all the light, and so you're not going to have too much of a weed problem down there. So this is what I call a hard trim on these rose bushes. So we're going to treat them as shrubs. You know, obviously you can get more in depth with these if you really want to, you know, make these look nice. You can go in there and basically start cutting in there. So you got a lot going on in there, but you know, the customer doesn't want to, you know, he just wants a setup to keep HOA off him, and he wants it as, you know, as beautiful as possible with you know, the minimum amount of investment. Let's see. So I did a hard trim on this one, just because you know, we had to get some kind of depth, and you know, kind of the same exact concept that we talked about earlier. So in here, so you got two shrubs kind of growing, kind of, you know, battling for position, and so I'm going to encourage that fight. And so I basically just create one giant shrub. It kind of you know, kind of does like a moon shape around, and I think it gives it a unique look. And excuse me. And so I definitely encourage that. Over here, I believe this is a yopon. So same thing here. Got two shrubs battling for position, and I really like this look right here. This natural look. I just kind of, you know, open it up a little bit. So all this cut right here, that's going to allow more sunlight to go in there and create, you know, something's going to happen here. Either this one's going to get stronger or this is going to get stronger. So whatever the case, hopefully it's something good in the long term. And let's see, what else can we talk about? So this tree, I kind of just trimmed off a few limbs that were just kind of, you know, kind of just dangling. I don't want anything interrupting this view. Excuse me. Here's the juniper I was telling you about. So I kind of just created multiple shapes into this. What I mean by that is I kind of saw this teardrop, and then that teardrop and that teardrop. So I kind of created maybe like a flame look. But anyway, the whole purpose of what I did here really was to break off a lot of the dead stuff right here, so alleviate some of the weight off this guy. And so this upper canopy will serve almost like a flag, or like a maybe like a parachute, if you will. And so all the wind that hits it will make it move and hopefully strengthen it up. I put a rock down there. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's I guess it is what it is, right? Let's see. That's essentially it. The big thing here is, like I said, create space in the driveway. And one of my pet peeves is the address. You want to make sure the address is showing. it's you know, it's good for when a customer comes up to you and, hey, you know, I saw the home you were working on, and you know, they usually reference it by either the road or the address, or they know the neighbor or something like that, you know. But you know, and plus it's good for, you know, your pizza guys, your numerous people that are coming in and out of these neighborhoods, you know, and their respective services, and it's always, you know, good to be able to see the home, the address. So right now what I'm going to do is, actually, before I let you guys go, I did want to go over a little bit of some basic trimming principles that I usually follow as far as cutting with these guys. So, you know, obviously it's a blade, it's flat, and so usually what I do, depending on my shape, there's two things I focus on. One, it's the shape. So I always, you know, I'm always picturing my shape that I want to go ahead and incorporate. Like right here, I don't know what shape it is, but you know, the way this thing grows, it kind of grows like, you know, like out, and then it gets round. And so what I try to do is I try to, you know, focus on getting it round over here, and then just, you know, and not necessarily straight, because, you know, I don't like, you know, I like one or the other. You know, if you're going round, stick with round. If you're going straight, stick with straight. And sometimes I do kind of combine the two, but like in this instance, I'll go ahead and just focus on making sure that blade is flat, not at an angle, not like this, but flat. You know, just, you know, you want it flat so it just hugs the plane, and you know, the flatter the better, because then you're able to, you know, have a smooth cut. Whereas if you're doing this number, you're kind of dragging it, you're kind of putting drag on it, and if you go this way, you're going into it, and a lot of times you get these rough, jagged cuts. So basically, two things: focus on your shape, and then just, you know, just focus on making sure it's flat all the way. The important times are when you're making those turns. That's when you tend to kind of drag a little bit. So you want to just go ahead and just make sure you're following your plane. And then when you're cutting, you know, don't go back. Always go through. You know, it's gonna grow back, so don't worry about it. But you know, you just go all the way through. If you mess up, just keep going with it, and then, you know, try to fix it on the fly as you're going around the shrub. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. I'm gonna get ready to blow, bag up all this stuff, and we'll get the trimmer, trim up some of these weeds, and blow once again, and then hopefully we'll be ready for mulch. So I went ahead and blew all the beds, and I kind of consolidated everything into one general area right up there. So I'm gonna grab the rake, I'm gonna make a mound, and then I'm gonna bag it up. All right, took about 2 minutes. I want to show you something. This is usually how I do it. It's a pretty quick way of bagging up. I spread out my bag. I've got my rake on my right side, and so I'll go ahead and basically just use my right hand, and I'll just start pushing everything in like that. So let's do that real quick. And you know, when you get empty in this area, you just grab your rake and you bring everything closer to you again. So let's do that. All right, for this next step, I utilize the string trimmer. I'm going to be using Stihl's FS240R with the special guard. This is typically used for the brush cutter. I like it that it's a big guard. And I just added this accessory. I forget the name of it. I'm sure I have it back there somewhere, but it's this is from what the dealer told me, this is the only one that Stihl makes. It's a quick reload. So basically, when you run out, all you do is you feed the line through, comes out the other end. You go ahead and just even them up, and all you gotta do is just push and twist, and it'll load you up. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll see if I can show you guys if I can operate the machine while recording. All right, so I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. It's kind of I'm sure you don't want to see me trim the whole time. But the biggest thing with these, it's a pretty powerful machine, so it's all about trigger control. You know, and then just of course watching where you're watching which direction all your debris flying. So you know, be careful working around windows, vehicles. So just keep, you know, I always try to keep my body between myself and what I'm trying to protect. So, you know, so I'm the first line of defense. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up right here. Afterwards, I'm gonna blow, and then we should be ready to mulch. Trim work is done. Everything else that I missed, I'll just go ahead and pull it from the root. Go ahead and see if we can turn this blower right from our back. So with the BR800, you want to pull it about halfway till you feel that tension, release it all the way, and then one full pull. I'm sure you don't want to see me blow, so I'm gonna wrap up here. I'll get back with you guys. All right, you guys ready to start? I am. So now we're gonna go ahead and start laying down our mulch. I want to show you this real quick. So we ran into a small little issue where this is a double stacked rock, and so the bottom layer on this one right here was kind of buried. So I used this power sweeper, Ryobi's multitasking system. Works real well for me. I just kind of used that to just kind of sweep away some of that debris. I wish I would have done that first before putting the mulch, because I got it dirty. But it's all right. It's okay. It'll just be thicker. Alright, so I made a decision. The sweep was pretty effective, but they settled in too well, where it was just gonna happen again. So, and plus the previous maintenance crew, they like edging with the string trimmer. Usually when that happens, you tend to have a little bit of runoff on your line. And so you create that runoff. You're gonna open it up, you're gonna create channels, water's gonna come down through that, and it's gonna create that erosion. So we're gonna go ahead and do this right. We're gonna grab the combi system, Stihl's KM 131R, this one right here. We got two of them. And we're gonna use the proper bed redefiner attachment with the angled or beveled blade. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll get back with you guys. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys the combi, the bed redefiner. All right, I apologize. I'm not sure if I got the bed redefiner. I think I started recording, or maybe I thought I hit it and it just didn't. But I went ahead and redefined it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and blow all that debris back into the beds, and we'll continue mulching. And at the same time, I'm gonna try to create this effect where like a bevel, and then I'll go ahead, and that should help me with my leveling. So I should be able to level out my my rocks. Went ahead and blew everything off. The big thing here is all that mesh you're making, all that mud. Make sure it's not it's not on the sidewalk, I'll go ahead and push this away, because just in case you step on it, you don't want it to get stuck there. It'll prolong the cleaning up process. All right, so I'm gonna continue throwing the mulch. All right, so this is what I'm doing here. So obviously there's nothing there, it's already channeled, and so what I'll do, I'll try to get it flush, not flush, but you know, I'll try to make a nice even slope from this point to over here to the 3-inch mark. I mean 3-inch thickness. So obviously down here it won't be thick, but I just try to get it to where it's beveled. The reason why I do that is because I want this rock to sit nice and flat, and so I'll put down this first layer, and then I'll just make sure that, you know, once the mulch is ready, I'll set it on there, and then I'll go ahead and just sweep it down here to where it's flat, because just in case some of these rocks are on top are bigger, so they kind of rest nice and flush as well. They're not kind of swinging off them. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and start stacking the next one. The important thing when doing this is you try to follow your edge, and you try to keep the straight. You try to keep the straight edge to the outside, and you try to just you kind of have to play with them, kind of try to figure out the best way to get them to set. Since this, I kind of went away from the original setup. I'm gonna try my best to keep the longest side to the outside, so it kind of stretches it out a little bit. And I'm just gonna continue doing this until I get to the very end. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of update you on the progress, and I'm gonna continue. Just real quick, you know, once you get over here, you can bring the mulch down here, which I still haven't decided if I'm going to do that. Which actually I probably will, because it looks kind of nice. You can still see the rock underneath it, and you know, you don't want this backside exposed. So I probably will end up doing that. And I usually, when I'm mulching, I usually like to have it flush like this, and then kind of just go with the slope. But anyway, I'm gonna continue doing this, and I'll get back with you guys. All right, so we're gonna wrap up for the day. I was only able to push out about 3 yards today, so I lost a lot of time doing the perimeter, but that's okay. We want the job done right. I'll have to do something about that little gap right there. We'll figure that part out tomorrow. But so far, this is what we've done. We still gotta organize back here, throw some more mulch. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those rocks, but I really don't like them there. See if I can find a good spot for them in the front. Might actually be able to take care of that with something back there. Did some trim work today. So this is what I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. You guys get an idea. Neighbor came out and asked for a quote, so I will be doing that here in a bit. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna post this video yet. I might actually. I probably will do that tonight, and then tomorrow I'll do the second part. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be long. So there's the trim work. So, you know, everything we do, you know, it's setting us up for another step. Hopefully the client wants to do some pressure washing on these rocks. It's been drizzling on me pretty much all day. That was the risk I took, and I'm paying the consequences, but it's okay. That's what it looks like. So tomorrow should be relatively easy. We've already set us up here, so just like over there, we set up the bottom layer. So tomorrow when we get here, I'll go ahead and throw some mulch on top of that and kind of run it flush. Then set up the second layer, run that flush, and then we should be rocking and rolling. I mean, we don't have anything really that's gonna slow us down other than moving these rocks. I'll flip these towards the concrete, kind of like so, and I'll get those out of the way, and then I'll try to make those look real nice for those little guys. I think tomorrow, I'm sick of that bush out there. I don't know what kind of bush that is, but it's got poison ivy all the way around it. And then back there, see if I can convince the customer to let me trim back there and mulch as well. So we still got quite a bit of work here. Clean up, I did a little bit of cleanup just to kind of clean up after myself. The neighbors won't complain, but I'll do a full thorough cleanup tomorrow before I take off. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please leave a comment below. Any questions, concerns, tips if you guys are experienced, and subscribe. And that's it. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.